Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Unconventional Attorney Podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Small, and I am the Unconventional Attorney. What an intro. Crushed that one. I don't know if you could hear by my voice, but I am a little under the weather, a little foggy, not gonna lie, but the show must go on, so we're gonna record this podcast. Before I get into today's topic, which is my sickness, I want to remind you that every Sunday the Unconventional newsletter is released, and if you are not getting that, you are missing out. Okay, I talk about things there that I don't talk about anywhere else. Some of the things that I'm thinking about, some of the lessons learned, some of the topics that are of interest to me. I also give you a sneak peek into every Inner Circle boardroom meeting, which we have live every Thursday at 1 p.m. I let you know some of the things that we're talking about there. And then I also give you a couple of action items for the week. Basically, if you're too cheap to come and join us in the Inner Circle and you want a little bit of help, there's no better way to get it than the Unconventional newsletter. It will change your law firm. So if you want to go and check that out, it's very simple. Just go to theunconventionalattorney.com/newsletter and put your name and email in there, and you'll get it. If you don't like it, then you can unsubscribe. But if you don't even check it out, then what are you even in this business for, right? You got to give people a chance. So if you're not trying to steal what I'm putting down, then you're missing out. Okay, theunconventionalattorney.com/newsletter. All right, let's get into today's topic, which is sickness. So today's Monday. I'm recording this the day it's released, which I'm trying to get out of the habit of doing, but whatever. It is what it is. I'll probably keep doing this for a long time, just because it's the way I roll. But on Friday, I woke up and my throat was hurting. And I literally had not been sick for like 6 months. And so I'd almost forgotten what it felt like to have a cold. And it feels pretty terrible, I'm not going to lie. I think part of that, by the way, to get to sort of back up for a minute, I think part of the reason that I haven't been sick for so long is because I have been eating well, I have been going to the gym regularly, I have been getting good sleep, and I have been operating a business in a life with not a tremendous amount of stress, although there has been some stress, but I guess maybe I've been able to manage it with the exercise and with journaling and with reading and getting good sleep and things like that. So I actually hadn't been sick for quite some time, and that I think is the number one key to beating sickness, is to just not get sick. I can tell you, I'm not a big clean freak. I'm not big on I don't use like a lot of hand sanitizer. I'm not a big hand washer. Okay, so take that for whatever you will. It's not that I don't believe in it. Maybe I'm just lazy, or I just don't care, or whatever. But anyway, I'm not. I have. Excuse me. I don't get flu shots either, and I have not found that I get sick that often. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's just karmic. But anyway, the number one, I guess, thing is to just not get sick. But when you do get sick, there are sort of two camps I think that people fall into, and I wanted to talk about those a little bit today, because I think that it doesn't, I guess it's okay whatever camp you find yourself in, but I think the key is to just commit to one or the other, and know that there are some going to be some consequences if you don't make the right choice at the right time. And so camp one, and I know some people that fall into this camp, this is not my camp, is push through. Keep working just as hard as you've been working. If you're not getting that much sleep, who cares? Like, you'll get over this thing eventually, and just push through it, right? And the problem with that is that you tend to be sick longer. It tends to linger. And what I don't like about that is that when you're sick, no matter how focused you are or how hard you try, your work product is going to suffer. Your focus is going to suffer, right? Your ability to be present is going to suffer, because a part of your physical self is working hard to combat your illness, and a part of your mental self is working hard to try to push back and avoid or not think about those things that that are going on. For example, right now, as I'm recording this, I've got this little tickle in the back of my throat that keeps telling me, like, you want to cough, you want to cough, you want to cough. My nose is all, my sinuses are stuffed. And so there's always that thing kind of lingering. That's taking your attention away from the things that you should be thinking about or doing. And so, it feels cool to take approach number one. It feels cool to push through and to just hustle and grind or whatever, and to tell people that you're doing that. But you're also think when you're meeting, you're probably getting other people sick and you just don't feel well. Who wants to do that for even like a couple weeks? Who wants to have a cold that lingers for a couple weeks? So that is approach number one. My approach is maybe a little bit unconventional, which is interesting, pun intended, but also this is literal. And that when I get sick, I tend to just dive into bed. I'll drink a ton of fluids, and I will just try to sleep and get as much rest as I can. I'll go to, like, for example, Friday night, I think I went to bed at like 9 o'clock. Saturday night, I went to bed at like 8 o'clock. Last night, I went to bed at like 10 o'clock. And then if you guys follow me on Instagram and see I often will post like a little picture when I wake up in the morning. I haven't been doing that, and that's just because I've been sleeping in as long as I can until the kids wake me up, which is typically like 7:30. Most of the time I'm getting up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. So when I get sick, I go all the way to the other side, and I get as much rest as I can, as much fluid as I can, and I really just try to give my body the opportunity to heal itself as fast as it can. And I'm going to tell you the other thing that I do is a super woo-woo, and I don't know if anybody's ever going to believe it or not, but you should try it and see if it works. I think you will be surprised. So one of the other things that I do is I will literally sort of, it's not like meditation exactly, but I will kind of sit there and take a moment and I will talk to myself, okay? And I will tell my brain, I will tell my body to go and fight this cold or this thing that I have going on. And I literally will say those words. Sometimes I will even say them out loud. Depends on if anybody's around. But I definitely will sit and think and sort of visualize this thing happening. Where, I imagine, you ever see those movies where like some sort of thing happens, and the SWAT team is deployed, and they all run in to the locker room, and they all grab their guns and gear up, and then they all like file out and run out and like, get in the big van and drive down to the place and set up and go like take out whoever the bad guys are. I sort of picture that and visualize that with my body. So I like see like these, like these white blood cells or these T cells or whoever it is that fights infections for us in our body, like going in and getting their gear on, and then going out and like zapping all of the cold bacteria cells or whatever. And I literally do that, and I think it helps for some reason. I just think we have a lot more control over our minds and our bodies than we think, and I believe that visualizing that and thinking that and sort of like because there's the subconscious things that works with our body, and there's the conscious things that work with our body, and so why not use our conscious minds to help our subconscious minds and our bodies do the work that needs to be done. So I will literally just think like, hey, get after this, go get these guys. There's a cold lurking out there somewhere, go get it, and it typically works. And I can tell you, although I don't know how good I sound today, I feel 100% better than I did on even yesterday. I feel much, much better today than I did. And I feel, multiple times better than I did on Saturday. Saturday I felt terrible. Yesterday I didn't feel great at all. Felt pretty bad. Today I feel much better. Hopefully by tomorrow this thing will be all the way gone. That'd be like a 4-day cold, which is kind of crazy. So I wanted to talk about that because I think, in our line of work, when we're working on our own business and we get sick, we might think like, oh, we don't even have time to take a second off. For me, taking that rest time is almost like an investment in myself and an investment in my business. I know if I take a couple hours here, a couple hours there, that's going to save me potentially days down the road in productivity, in attentiveness, in focus, because I will be back to normal. I'll be back to feeling good, and then everything is great. So if you are sick, take a minute. drink some fluids, take a break, take a rest, take a nap, and you'll feel better faster, and you'll get more work done. It'll be better work, and overall you're going to feel better, because who wants to be sick, right? Okay, that is it. Hopefully, this helped. If it did, that's great. If you are not a subscriber to the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. We're getting closer. We're bumping up on that 75 reviews, which means we'll give away some more books. And again, if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, you're an idiot. So go subscribe to that newsletter, theunconventionalattorney.com/newsletter. Every week, every Sunday, I send out a little ditty, a little something, something. It's great. It's a lot of stuff I don't talk about anywhere else. And it can really help your firm. So go check it out, theunconventionalattorney.com/newsletter. That is it. I'm Christopher Small. I am The Unconventional Attorney. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll be here again with you soon.